Live, baby. Live, baby. Some big ass headphones. Yeah, I see it. Dude, what the hell? So, yeah, I mean, I see your comment. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think maybe it got you in there that time. But it still just says +1, which is really weird.
Alright, I'm here. Ooh, okay.
Volume down.
I'm an echo boy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how else we can do that since it doesn't let you kill the sound, which is kind of a bummer. But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I can super hear me through yours though.
Yeah, because it's picking it up from my computer mic, so see if I can. I mean, I might be able to move it a little bit further away, but that's about all I can do. Just keep talking so we can try to figure it out.
Word. Just talking. I'm inviting some fools. Everyone's getting invited.
Yeah, shit, man. I'm not sure how else we can really do it with the echo because it's picking up my sound from my laptop, you know.
Oh, you're actually using your computer?
Yeah, the Mac doesn't have the audio. I mean the.
If you go into settings and make it only headphones on even Facebook maybe, or like not Facebook, but your actual computer.
Try it real quick. Well, it's picking up my sound. Like that's how we're talking in Discord, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I could. I mean, I might be able to change.
It's no big deal. I wouldn't worry about it.
I mean, I'm just gonna try one thing, and if that's not it, then I'm just not gonna worry about it. So the audio port. Here, how about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm still echoing, but it's just I think that just is what it is.
Check.
Yep.
Yeah, because I can't hear you through Discord when I do that. So check.
It's all Blaine's, my bro. It's not gonna go away. I think that just what it is.
How about now?
Probably same thing. Yeah, same thing.
Alright, fuck it then.
Yeah, no big deal. I'm literally just sitting here, letting people know we're live.
Yeah, no one's in here anyway, right?
4 or 5 people.
Oh, nice.
I'll get in some.
Ortiz.
No, the true bro.
That's a bummer. Well, let's see.
It'd probably work if I did my laptop and we didn't do Discord.
Hold on. So I'm trying to turn off the sound output, right? From.
Yeah.
Not the input or the input. Yeah, the output. Okay. So now if I mute it, can you still hear me in Discord?
Yeah, I can still hear you. But I'm
Okay.
still echoing.
Oh, I can't hear you, so I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know. How do Macs not have mic ports? Like that makes no sense.
What about
crazy.
this? Nope. You still hear me? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I just have
Might
a
be
little
able to
echo.
turn it down a little bit. How about now?
I wonder. Ah, it's gone. Nope, it's there. I like it.
Alright, that's it then. I'm not gonna fuck with it anymore.
Cool. Shit. How do you want to start this one out, Playboy?
However, make sure I'm all good here. I don't know. I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts today. I was like driving around doing just errands and shit. Had the day off, so I was just like cruising around a lot of the day. Listening to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts, which was sick with Russell Brand. I haven't heard about that guy in like a couple of years, but he's always been kind of like a I don't know, like obviously he has like his comedian side, but he's always like, if you ever watch any of his stuff, like he kind of has a lot of interesting things to say besides just like his funny aspects. So that's a pretty good episode. They brought up some cool shit on that. But yeah, just listen to a lot of podcasts while running errands.
That's super my favorite. I can handle long drives that way.
Yeah, I look forward to them now, which is crazy. Like, I like going places far because I know I'm gonna get like not only through it quicker, but like on my way back home from LA, I knew that drive was just going to like go by quick because I had a 2-hour podcast that I was listening to. Joey Diaz. Do you know Joey Diaz?
Yeah. Joe Diaz is pretty solid.
I like that one.
Like we're getting some homeboys in here. Some Elliot. Yeah, I like I feel like he's pretty unbiased. That's why I'm super into Joe Rogan. I feel like he's not afraid to speak his mind, but he's also not. Oh, that got way worse.
It got worse?
Oh, so much worse. Is that me or you? Whatever you did. Try that.
There's no lag on it tonight, so it might just be like your internet. I think I'm gonna try to just go audio directly from my iPhone.
Can you do that?
I mean, it's just us chatting right now, like through here, and not do Discord. You wanna try that?
I don't know how it's gonna sound on my phone. Fuck it, we could try it. Let's do it.
We can always go back to it if not.
Okay, word. We'll just do that. That's chill. Oh, nope, I don't know. It's Discord, I think.
Did you leave the chat?
I'm trying to dude, to be honest, I really fucking do not like Discord.
No, it's not I'm just gonna quit it.
Weird.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, we'll have to figure out a different way to be able to do that, but I think, yeah, I'm gonna grab my iPhone headphones so I can just like plug directly in, and then I think we'll be good. Because there's no lag on this tonight. I think that's way better. I think since like, maybe just your internet.
Maybe. I'm drinking some. I went out and I balled out because the shit was on sale, so I didn't really ball out.
I like that the PBR is like in place of the mic tonight.
Yeah, we'll just do that. That's chill. Two sexy bros. The setup crew. It takes like a minute to set everything up still. Getting the gist of it.
These iPhone mics are actually like really good. You have your iPhone cable? Like
look at that.
iPhone ones? Dude, they're super solid. Like
yeah,
I used to record podcasts through them. So yeah, it sounds perfect. I think like through the phone it doesn't pick it up as well, obviously, but my experience always with using just the built-in, or not the built-in, these guys are super solid. Like the new ones that it comes with are pretty nice. Fuck that app, or fuck that Discord bullshit.
Yeah, Discord's whack. Sorry, bros.
Sorry, that took way too long, but that's what we do. You fucking figure things out. You find out what doesn't work, and that doesn't. So
it like worked last time was kind of the upsetting part. Well, but like not very well, I guess. So
yeah, we still kind of had like the ups and downs of it. Of like, oh, dude, you're echoing super hard. Now you're not. And then I turned something off, and it wasn't. So that's something like we'd have to just play around with more. But this works completely fine to me. But yeah, to go back to, I don't know. Today was chilling day for me. Did some editing. We have on under Blackgate like a video coming out that's we're gonna try to push out just a lot more video content, which would be cool, which is what I like to do. But now we're gonna like kind of push it out more through Blackgate, which will be cool. So we're kind of starting that off with somewhat like introduction videos for Tyler and I of what we do and like kind of just the origin story of that.
Should be a good old time. Cause you like learn about us a little bit better.
Yeah, and so that's cool because I get to through the video, like Tyler, it'll kind of be like just a explanation of what we're all about. Even further, so I know like because obviously there's people, if you listen to our podcast, like it's kind of crazy the way that like if you listen to podcasts, if you haven't got into that movement yet, when I listen to them, like I feel like I know these people because it's there's no other outlet of like a conversation that you can have where two people or more are just sitting down and there's literally no distractions. Like there's nothing else that me and you could be doing right now. I mean, like obviously we can be on our laptops at the same time, but this is literally just a conversation. So that's something I found like super like interesting about podcasting in general, is just like the no distraction aspect of it. Like even if you're out with friends these days, people are on their phones, this and that and the other. So
yeah, I like it that no ads, there's no bullshit, there's no fluff. It's just organic conversations, you know.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, so that brings me to something that I was actually thinking about when I thought of that, listening to like Joe Rogan's podcast today. Like, dude, I looked at just his numbers. He was on like 1,015 of his podcasts today. Like that's so many. That's fucking awesome. Like he's a pioneer of that shit. Like, so I guess that kind of got me thinking, like, since obviously me and you, we have a podcast through this, but I'm curious to know, like, what are some of the things that you personally have learned through, like, podcasting, like, whether it just, like, any kind of information, like, what have you taken out of podcasts? Because it's such a good learning format for people, so I'm just kind of curious, like,
yeah,
I've
replaced it like a lot of book reading with it, which I still like reading books because it's a good downtime thing, and there's only so much content you can pull from podcasts. But I mean, I try to do it almost every day. I find there's a couple I use. Like I like Joe Rogan. That's kind of more just like when I'm chilling out, though.
Right.
I definitely
they get into good conversations, though.
Yeah, and you can learn a lot depending on which one you listen to. But that's more so my leisure ones. I'm super into my school's podcast for recording. Like every time.
Mm-hmm. What's that called?
urmacademy.com. Well, no, it's urm.academy/podcast. They have like a ton. It's all like recording engineers and advice and stuff like that. So you can kind of take a lot from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's mainly my stuff. And then like just us podcasting, just learning how people think and kind of work within their own like world, which is really cool.
That's something that I've touched on before, just to kind of go into how like podcasting has like personally affected me, not just like through me listening to other people's, like actually being able to sit down with another human being like that I've just met, or maybe I think I know them pretty well, or it could be any in that range of the spectrum of like friendship, of like how well I know them. And I know that once like I sit down, and most of our podcasts can go a lot longer than the hour 15 that we usually do. So we kind of try to keep it like in that range just for time's sake for everybody. But I think every time it's been a situation where like we could go much longer, and then every time after, I feel like I know that person like so much better. And even if we didn't even get that deep into the conversation, like you get like to learn people's like little nuances and things like that, which is, I don't know, it's an interesting thing, because I think at the end of the day, we all like learn best from who we're around, and like being around different people and conversations is like, at least for me, that's probably one of my best forms of learning is this exactly. So that's been cool.
Yeah, I think one of the rules I follow is you're like who you are, like who you hang out with. Like the most influential people in your life is what you spend the most time doing and listening to. And I think it's cool, and like since we're like 2017 as fuck, you can literally just be like acting like you're hanging out with these people because you're listening to their podcast. So you're getting real information that's not like bullshitted. And you just kind of grow, and you can kind of mold your mindset. So like if you want to do something kind of bigger than yourself, you can listen to podcasts where people are doing something what you're interested in but bigger. And you can just kind of sit in. I think that's cool. You can like learn a lot just from listening.
Yeah, I think you can trick yourself into it, you know, because a lot of people don't have that luxury of like being able. I mean, I think everybody has the capacity to go out and be able to like change their friend group if they really wanted to. I know that's probably one of the hardest things to do is like you talk about you being the product of the people that you hang out with. Very true statement, obviously, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. That's where I think a lot of things like, I mean, people have been doing this forever with books because you can learn a lot from books, but just the voice aspect brings in a whole different player into the game, I think, because it's time. Like when you're reading a book, you're sitting down and you can only be doing that. You can only be reading the book, which is fine. Like that's a lot of people look forward to that leisure time, but also in all of our busy lives, like now more than ever, we want to optimize our time. So you can podcast, learn things, and it can feel like you're doing, like surrounding yourself with better people just because like that's the voices that you're listening to. So I think that's an extremely powerful tool that more and more people are going to start to realize is like, holy fuck, like, because I mean, even for myself, man, I didn't think a lot of the ways that I think about things until I started opening my like, I don't know, my mind's inbox of other people's like points of view and things like that, and like, oh, I agree with this or I disagree with this, but that's a kind of a crazy thing that I think the whole podcast movement is really like shedding light on. So I hope that like more, I know more people are going to get on board with it. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because anyone can do it. You have a cell phone. You have what we're doing is essentially like a podcast live stream kind of deal.
Right.
Like anyone can really do it as long as you have like content that people want to listen to.
Oh, okay, cool. There's comments. I forgot to. We could bring it up. Cool. Hey, Michael, David, all the homies are in here. Elliot. I have so much love, but no one to give it to. We got you, man. That's why you're in the live. Beautiful creatures. How was the shoot the other day? Stoked to see y'all got content lined up. That was super sick, Mike. Good stuff. I think we should set something up. We should do something with your new band. That'd be super cool to do something. I'm digging your new music. We got some good fucking beer of the day. What's your beer of the day, Tyler? What are you drinking right now?
PBR on the regs. I'm always sipping on.
Yeah, we're actually doing the same exact thing tonight. I got this little mixture, which is my classic go-to of I don't know the technical name for it, but I guess it's just a whiskey ginger lime, and got PBRs cooling off in the fridge, chilling out. You're taking it easy right now. What's up, Cole? I thought you were out here like last weekend, but it was just your girlfriend, and then I got sad because I just want to hang out with you. Let's see.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, just do a little queue and then like put the question after that, so we can like sort through them a little quicker.
Lead Singer Syndrome is a dope podcast. I haven't heard of that one, but I'm curious. It sounds cool. Who runs that, Tony? If you would, who's the host on that? I'm down, Cole. I like Arizona. Even though bad things happen to me when I go out there, my phone is still floating somewhere in one of your rivers.
That's
but
a bummer.
My phone's floating around somewhere. I think I got a speeding ticket that I haven't paid yet.
In
Gila Bend. Fucking Gila Bend, piece of shit. Like, cops don't have anything else to do out there. But I do like Arizona. Arizona's cool. I like the downtown area. I've ever been to like the downtown of like, what is it? I think it's Phoenix. Yeah, downtown Phoenix. Actually, a cool area.
Spent some time there. It's definitely different. The last time I was in Arizona, they had like the biggest sandstorm in like a
No
long
shit.
time. Yeah, it was super fucking funny.
That's cool. I like that, Tony. I'll actually have to check that out because that's a cool. That's an interesting like point of view. I think does he strictly do just other lead singers, or does he, or is it people in bands in general?
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
That's cool because it's like I don't know.
The
I
cue.
I feel like his opening question is like, why do like we never load anything in? Like he even knows it. It's like, hey, so us as singers, why do we not load things in with the rest of our band? Like,
Why do we just
fucking, I just
brings a
don't.
microphone with a little bag, dude? That's it. That's like their heaviest shit. They don't even need
That's
cables. The Tony. Yeah, so, fuck. One thing I was thinking of, I wonder if anyone would be interested in watching us play games. Like, we're just shooting the shit, playing some
Dude.
games, maybe?
I haven't played a video game in so long. I finally sat down. I think I talked about this in the last one. But I played Destiny for like a week. Super fucking good game. But yeah, dude, I've been thinking about doing Twitch. I've seen a lot of my friends become like Twitch affiliates and stuff like that, and that's super cool. Like, that's rad, man. Like, I've always like dreamed of being able to like even the potential to be making money while doing something like playing video games is like such a cool fucking thing. You see all these esports stars that, dude, that's another beast in itself. Like, I'm so curious to see where esports is going to be in 20 years, you know? Like, that shit might fucking be bigger than football, you know? Like,
It could be.
that shit's gnarly, man. It's moving quicker than anything else, you know? It's getting bigger than, I mean, football's big, but it's not getting bigger, you know? Like, so I'm curious to see, like, everybody loves video games. A lot of people are really good at them.
I think you'll see a big change of things. Like, we're doing shit that, like, because our generation's super about, like, technology and electronics and cell phones. So, dude, that's probably going to be a big play into it, for sure.
I got this spooky guy right here. Where is it? See that spooky pumpkin?
You have a pump. Oh, I see it. That's pretty
He's
nice.
spooky. He has a candle in there. We can't really tell. Let's see.
I'm a PC bro. I don't even own an Xbox or PlayStation. I don't really play video games. It's not really my jam. I'm a weird ass.
That's not anymore. We used to fucking play for hours. You can't say that you're not a video game guy.
I mean, I just never do it. I feel like I can't claim to be a video game
Not
guy.
anymore, but I feel like
Yeah.
once you are, you always will. Like, I think about that shit all the time. Like, I wish that I felt like good enough to be able to sit down and enjoy it, but I really did. Like, I think that did like relieve some stress from me. But I found I caught myself going into like a dark fucking hole with Destiny. I was glad that I rented it from Redbox because I probably would have played it a lot more, especially with a game like that where it's like. I guess you could call it RPG style, but like you kind of can never win. Like there's always something better to do. Those games fuck me up, like World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that. I love that game to death. I'll play it forever. I'll play it till I die. No, I mean I don't anymore, obviously, but like that shit gets me in trouble because I won't get things done.
Yeah, I've been doing, I'm super whack ass, got back into RuneScape. That's like my little downtime thing now. Just bought
That's
membership.
funny. Yeah, I mean nothing wrong with that. What is there's some questions. What have you been jamming lately besides Counterparts, Tyler? Oh, my phone's right here. Just Counterparts and more Counterparts.
Actually, I'm gonna plug my bro right now. One song I got to work on for this band I was just recording from LA, The Crown Remnant. They're putting on a song tomorrow. It should be pretty dope. Pretty excited for that one to drop. Other than that, 1,000 Below, Counterparts, that new End band, that band's fucking tight. They have like old Counterpart members, they have Structures members. It's just like heavy as fuck.
Nice.
And
that
also,
sounds sick.
And I don't ride anymore, my Drew bro. I'm sorry about that. I just do music shit all the time and do this.
Brat. Are we talking brat shit?
Yeah, we're
Hit the
wrapping it up.
des, hit the jumps. I've been jamming. I just saw that. I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet, but
Mm,
I saw the new Stray from the Path record drop today. Or no, maybe not the Stray record. The Stick to Your Guns record dropped today. That
I
I
saw
haven't
that.
got to hear all of yet, but from what I have is really sick.
Like
And
my cat's being needy.
he's making an appearance.
He
What
just
else
keeps
have
like
I been
pawing at
jamming?
me. He's trying to hang out too hard.
I don't know, man. I'm like trying to now. I'm trying to make it a point to like so I could keep more relevant in music because I tend to just listen to podcasts in my car now. Like so, I'm trying to make it a point of like,
Same.
damn, what's the new albums dropping? I started following a bunch of like music news Instagrams and stuff, which has helped a lot. I never thought about that before, but like that's been something really cool. Is like talking about new releases that bands have. Like that's a good way to stay updated because like that's I'm on Instagram probably more than I am any other platform. But yeah, that's actually interesting. What do you do? What's your go-to? Like what site are you on the most of the 4 to 5 things that we cycle
Facebook.
through on our day to life? Really?
And I hate it. Facebook's a
Hmm.
frustrating one because I see a lot of like negative shit all the time. So like it's constantly just scrolling through some like
Right.
I don't know. My feed's always fucked up. It's always like something like someone dying, animals dead, like every day. Just seeing that. So I don't know why that is.
Actually, that brings me to a pretty cool point. Well, I mean, not cool, but something to talk about. Something I was thinking about earlier when we decided that we are gonna do this tonight. What are your thoughts on? I was thinking about this. Like, I've thought about this for a while, but I think it's kind of it'll be a cool place to talk about it here. Is like how people use their social media now. Now more than ever, like the most negative people have the loudest voices, especially with like the current state that we're all living in with whether or not you hate Donald Trump or you like Donald Trump. It doesn't like that doesn't matter. Like politics aside, I just think that like now more than ever we have these platforms and like the negative voices are really loud throughout them. Um, so what's just kind of your thoughts on that? Because I tend to think that the positive people are either just trying to hide away and try to like keep that positivity themselves or like because it's like we're good, like I'm not trying to fucking like what are you gonna do when the world is so negative, like there's only so much you can change, like, and if you're in a happy
Mm,
place yourself then it's like you can only do so much. And I think a lot of times those kind of people as well get by the voices that are so loud of negativity get accused of being fake, like, oh, you're not really happy, how can you be happy, everything's so fucked up,
that's where
things of that nature.
I think where a lot of like where I don't like how social media went is everyone's opinion seems to be facts now. Where that becomes too much
Right.
of like that's just because like shit sucks somewhere doesn't mean it sucks everywhere. And
Right.
one of the biggest things to stay motivated, you can't be reading news. You can't be like, you shouldn't be on Facebook all day. That's not what, like, that's not good or healthy. You got to be able to branch out and, like, that's why I read books, just so I can disconnect for, like, a couple hours, go chill out, learn something. Or podcasts where
Right.
I just have my phone out, like, away and I'm just listening to something. I go on social media that connect with, like, friends and, you know, kind of do some business stuff. But other than that, dude, it's not healthy. Like, you can't be so sucked into something and where you feel like shit all the time. Like that super defeats the purpose of why you should
Right.
have it, you know?
I think statistically, like, this is by far the best time to be a human being in any other time of our existence. Like, there hasn't been a better time. We haven't had more resources than we have right now. We haven't had better connectivity than we have right now. We haven't, there's so much good that's going on. There's not a safer time to be a human being
Yeah,
in the
for
world right
sure.
now, regardless of what everything is shoved down your throat. And obviously, we do have these like horrible tragedies that happen, that have always happened, and they're very unfortunate. And it's obviously nobody likes that. There's no supporting argument for that, but in the scheme of things, it is the safest time, and I don't even think by opinion. I think it's a fact that it is the best time to be alive as a human being right now. Like I can't think of like you would be kind of fucking sad I don't know, maybe there was like a plague going around your fucking city or something like that. Like we're not, millions of people aren't dying from the Black Plague. There's not, so I don't know. It's all perspective, I think.
I agree, and I think like where a lot of things are, it's like a good example is like Yelp. Is you can have like a fuckload of cool comments on your shit, and then you get like 3 or 4 negative ones out of like your 15 or 20, and you're gonna focus on that way more.
Right.
Like as humans, we're built to see the like to find the negative, so we try to stay away from it, and like.
Right.
That's what you like. Everyone's posting like super like this is fucked, and then everyone gets sucked into it. And then when you post like you're saying, when you post happy things, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're posting happy things and people are super over it.
Yeah, like they don't want to hear that shit because they think like, oh, like what makes you so special? Like why are you happy? And like when everything's so fucked up, like fuck you, you must not be happy. Like there's no way you could be. Like, so that's, I mean, and it's a struggle every day. Like I'm not saying like I'm the ray of sunshine every day, like, but it's just, it's either you're striving for it or you're just fucking, or you're giving into it. So I think that with, like I spoke on earlier, with everybody in having like such a big voice for the negativity, I think a lot of people are just like, yeah, man, you know what? You're right. Fuck my life. So that's like, I don't know. That's a big bummer. But I think there are people obviously out there that it depends on who you're surrounding yourself with, like if you're listening to things that are going to bring like a positive outlook for you to change for the better, then you're going to try to do that, or you're going to give into the negativity and like feed with it. That's it. I think that's the bottom line.
Sorry, a question real quick. Did you ever listen to those tracks I guess Zach sent to you? Which ones and where and when? So I get sent
who,
things.
What, when, where, and fucking why, dude. Just why.
If you want, send them over to my Facebook right now. I'll check them out after this.
Could actually, no, we probably couldn't play it. It would be all fucking.
Yeah, it'd be static.
Maybe.
I've tried it. It's all staticky.
Snapchat the most. As much as like, I don't know. Obviously, Instagram has stole like most of Snapchat's features, and that's kind of like been my go-to for like the platform that I like using the most, just because it's fucking. It does everything that I would want it to do as like a photographer, and so I don't know. I need to give Snapchat another chance because I know it's not a dead platform by any means.
I gave up on Snapchat so long ago because of those reasons.
I'm thinking about.
Good David.
That's a pretty solid social media app. That's where I meet a lot of me and my buddies. Yeah, I think for business opportunities, I think Snapchat has things that people aren't considering. Because like I think a lot of people probably think the same thing that we're saying is like, oh, Instagram stole everything. Who's gonna be on Snapchat anymore? So I think that probably left like a big gap for marketers or people of that nature, businesses, to kind of swoop in. Because I've obviously seen some ads on Snapchat, and like another thing with the geo tags and things of that nature, where you can create your own tag for certain events, which I think is super rad. That you can like have a place like within a couple mile radius. Like it's not very expensive to have your own personal. I think that's what they're called, like the filters. Yeah, to put a filter on it.
Yeah,
yeah. So like that's really cool. I remember looking that up because I was curious to how much something like that would be, and it was only like $20 for like 25 square miles of like. So if you had an event somewhere, anyone within 25 miles can use that Snapchat filter, and then like every time they use it, take a picture with it, all their friends see it, so on, so on. So I think Snapchat still has its.
I mean, it is
things like that.
It's still pretty big too. It's not like a lot of people just dropped it.
Yeah,
I just didn't like. It just seemed kind of like weird to me. I don't understand it. I couldn't get into it. I didn't have anything interesting to show every 5 seconds.
Right. Yeah, I think maybe just. Because me on a personal level, I'm not too big on it, but I think in terms of like business wise, I think there could be a lot of upsides to that, just because. That's probably what most people are thinking is like, oh, fuck it, let's just go on Instagram.
Cat's losing his mind over here.
Kick his
my
ass
back.
out, dude.
I'm thinking about it. He's getting kind of like needy.
So we talked a bit last time about like taking on like a bunch of projects. I think that's what we talked about last time on this little live stream. Too much Kardashian shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to filter through that shit. You don't get to choose what ads you see. But yeah, we were talking about like taking on a lot of projects and then getting a little bit like of a overwhelmedness from doing like trying to do too many things at once. So it kind of got me thinking, what's kind of your mental prep when you know you're going to take on a big project? Like whether it would be for like specific scenarios, if it would be going into meeting with a band and like and they want you to do their whole EP with them, like what would kind of be your mental prep for something like that?
What I like to do is I like to ask the band what kind of direction they'd like to go, or kind of give like a feel of what they want to do.
Tony.
Later, Tony, miss you already. So a lot of that comes down to what they want, vision-wise, because I usually help write or produce in some way, at least to like get an idea, so I'm not just goofing it.
Right.
We meet up, we talk, I take notes. We kind of set up a game plan of like what we're going to do first, and like if we need to write anything before we start tracking anything.
Mm.
And then from there, we each kind of have homework. I'm like, okay, I want you like to do this, like listen to these albums. I'm going to listen to these albums too. We'll come together, and then we'll just start tracking. So I guess my breakdown is I'll just listen to those albums for like a while and kind of get in the zone with that. And then I'm like, as I'm driving around, that's why I don't listen to a lot of music, because I don't want to get like distracted. I don't want to have like too many things going on at once. I try to keep it pretty mellow. And
would you say you try to save it for a time when like you really need to like listen to some music to like to kind of get yourself in the zone?
Yeah, because when I'm listening to music, I analyze it. I'm not just like enjoying it. I'm overthinking about it. Because I try to pick everything apart, and that's why it sucks when I'm listening to music now. I'm like, well, what's that going on? What's this? It helps me with writing and stuff, but it sucks when I'm like trying to just chill out. That's why I just listen to podcasts.
Hey,
That would be
How's Randy gonna sneak her ass in here and not say a word? What's up, Randizzle?
Trying to fucking sneak a peek.
Yeah, I like that though. I think it's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, that's like just the easiest way. Just everyone gets on the same page a little quicker, and they don't have to like. There's not as much guesswork into it. And then especially like that first meetup is so important. Just be able to sit down, bro to bro, and be like, all right, what's going on? What do we want to do? And then like make sure it's a chill environment. It usually takes a couple days to fill out when you are recording.
Right.
Like first days, it was kind of weird because you don't know like where you're at. You know, like you don't know what you can say.
I'm losing you.
Do you similar thing?
I think it's on your end, connection-wise, but we kind of lost you a bit.
Dang. Yeah, I think it is too. It's kind of cutting out.
Yeah, I didn't really catch that last part, but I think. How do you think, as far as like efficiency goes, for not to be like as a specific thing as like meeting up with a band, and say they wanted you to write their EP with them or something of that nature? How do you go about when you're just trying to be efficient throughout your workload? Like what are some things that you try to keep in mind, or like things that you do to, like when you have to tackle a big project of I guess anything in general, you know, like not necessarily into specifics, like just like what are some things that you do to like keep yourself like efficient? Because I know obvious for me, it's like really easy to get distracted with things, and
Sure.
Sometimes it's hard to just sit down and like want to do that work that you know that you have so much of, or even if it is a small task. What's kind of something that keeps you grounded in that regards to?
You got to cut out, especially working at home. You got to cut out a lot of the distractions. Like, there's actually a website you can use. You can set timers. I wish I could remember it. Anyway, so you can like it's kind of like an extra, yo, get off your ass, stop sitting on Facebook kind of alert.
Right.
like
But
that.
I think it's important to take breaks. Anytime you are kind of doing anything like a big project or you have like a lot of shit going on for the day, grind it out, and then you get stuck, take a break, go make some food, go take a walk. I live like right next to a grocery store, so like I'll walk the 5-10 minutes there and back.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of clear my head, pick up like something to drink, you know, like get like a coffee or something,
Right.
and then come back, kill everything again, and then like just start grinding at it. I have to do that even when I read, because then like I'm always on my like I'll get like inspired. I take notes now. That's actually a big thing. If like even if it's like something simple like reading, I like to take notes of the book so I can remember and make sure I'm like collecting the information right. So I'm not just trying to cruise through it.
Yeah, I've actually found like I don't know, it's like super cliche things, but just like really like tactical things, like putting on like extremely chill like music. Like it's super cliche. Like that's what everyone would probably tell you is like. But I'll straight up put on like if I know I have a big like editing workload that's coming up or something like that. Like even beforehand, like if I'm a big thing that I do like to do, like you mentioned, like working from home is like kind of a struggle because you like there's so many things that you could always be doing at home. Like I can think of 10 things I could do right now that I just don't want to. Like I don't want to do the dishes right now. I don't want to vacuum the floor. Like, but I'm here, so it's like, why am I not doing that? But also I have like work calling my name, so I think that's like where down the line, like people when you get into like your own space, like that kind of, I think that kind of helps with things like that. Like you don't have to think about like, oh, I'm just at home and I'm only a few steps away from like my couch or whatever that you pick your poison on your distraction. But to go back to what I was saying is just, yeah, like really getting into the zone. Like I'll do some of those things. I make sure my house is clean. But I'll put on like those 2 hour like chill vibe fucking YouTube videos.
I do that shit too.
They're so good. Like you can't go wrong, but I'll make sure that my workspace is clean. I've got my desk. I've got like decent lighting that I set up around my desk, and
that's
all
a
that
good
stuff
point.
in the long run really makes a big difference because you feel comfortable in the spot that you're at, and then I think that it gets you back to thinking like this is what I actually enjoy doing. You're not just looking like what's the end product going to be like, and how fast can I get there? So those are some of like just like tactical things that I like to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna talk about lighting for a second because that was the biggest game changer for me. Like right now, everything in my room that's lit up is like just my ambient lighting.
Right.
That made a big difference, dude. Like the little Christmas lights in the corner and getting like a salt lamp or whatever, and then like getting my multicolored changing light bulb too, so I can literally throw any mood I want on. The reason why I like having it on auto is psychology reasons is like it makes you think your environment's changing, so it makes you more creative. Just a weird thing I read. And also another thing is having air fresheners to your scent, so you can like if one scent gets too familiar. My cat is drinking my beer.
He's also putting his asshole in the camera. His cat butthole.
He's so annoying right now. Yeah, and like you can change out your smells in your room, so it can also trigger more inspiration.
James, I dig that, man. The writing out a game plan. That's something that I've tried to get myself to do more. I forced myself to do this because the notes app on my phone or on the phone is actually like really solid. Once I figured out that there was like so many other things that I could do with it. Like there's actually all those little extras, like they have like the bubbles that you can check off and whatnot. But I don't know why I fight myself so hard on like writing things down, but that's always been like such a big helper for me whenever I do. Like I write things down, and every time I like thank myself for it, but I always find myself like, nah, fuck it, I'll just remember. Like I'll remember. Like I get ideas that come into my head, or even like you said, like just planning out the week. That's probably a good way to go about it, and maybe setting a day like, oh, it's Sunday, I'm gonna kind of plan out my week right now. So. I like that. I like that idea of it. I think that takes a lot of self-discipline. So that kind of shows like that's another step in the right direction. So that's a good point as well. And yeah, your cat's fucking annoying.
Yeah, he's a little baby.
Why is he being such a baby?
This is what he needs, man. I was shooing him away. I just got to hang out with him.
What do you do, James? Do you use your phone, or do you try to keep a notepad with you at all times? Like, do you use your phone as a form of note taking, or is that do you kind of leave that to the traditional writing?
Yeah, I definitely like that writing out a game plan thing. That's smart. I need to do that more often. Have like your short term and long term. I've done that like one time. I did a long term one a while, but
The long term one's important. That was actually what I was gonna bring up next was my I forget what the term is that they call it, but I wrote down like things for pretty like far future like type things like a 5 year or what my ultimate goal was because all those videos when I was really trying to get myself motivated like back a couple years ago to like actually change my shit or even I mean not even that long ago like a year 2 years yeah just like a year ago to really like change my life around and like take control and take a direction that I wanted with all those videos that I was watching were like write down what you want to happen when and then like there was also other things about like do you remember what's the term for that what writing down your
affirmations.
affirmations that's what yeah something like I think that's it um so I did that and I still have it and I'll check up on that every once in a while. It's right next to like a little booklet by my bed. So I think that's a big one, man. Like a lot of people say that and I know if I would have heard that before I would have just thought it was cheesy because I didn't want to accept that like things like
It's that
that really
easy.
help.
Yeah,
Or it's that easy. Yeah. But it's crazy to like when I wrote that down like a lot of those things that I wrote down are like some of them like have changed context and but there's like in the same realm I've accomplished things that I wrote down in that and that nothing more satisfying than that I think because you're actually like you're proving to yourself that you can achieve something. So that's been a crazy thing for me. I don't think I'll ever stop doing that now. It's like long-term goals and then I'm still
Same.
obviously working on the short.
Because like you can get in like your little fucking hole and be like, "This sucks, dude. I'm not doing anything right." And then you can go back a year in your notes and see where you were a year ago, and you're like, "Holy fuck, I changed a lot."
Exactly.
I like that point.
I
Yeah, because you can get
changed
bummed
a
out.
lot.
Yeah, because you can get to those like little ruts. I get there and I'm like, "Well, what the fuck have I been doing?" And then you read what you wanted to do, but then you saw you crush those goals. You're like, "Oh shit." All right.
Yeah, it kind of makes you not feel so small. Like even if you have like a setback or like you went through a couple days, and I think that's just an important thing to have laying around is like something to check back up on when you don't feel like you're at your best. Because I mean, in the end, I always appreciate the times that I don't feel at my best because it's gonna kick my ass back into gear because but like we all have it, you know, like you were just talking about you not feeling so good about where you were at with things and then you realized that and you changed it. And so it was like those are like I like those as much as like the good times. Like I like being in the ruts because I know that the rut's gonna bring me up to like it kicks me into a new gear and I'm like fuck I gotta change like what's the next thing I gotta do. So that's I like that mindset for sure.
Yeah, it keeps you motivated when you get like, yeah, because I mean, I just had that birthday shit, and then it's been like, kind of like, oh, I've been chilling, kind of easing. I'm still working, but like not working like probably as diligently as I should be. I'm like, I come home, watch YouTube videos, and chill out too often. I didn't like
Right.
that. I feel like I have to be working to do shit. But
Mhm.
yeah, so just being able to be like, yo, what the fuck, and then throw out some ideas, brainstorm. Like, I like to isolate myself a little bit. You know, cut my phone off, and just sit down and literally think of like what is going to get me next level.
Yeah, I dig what you're on, James. It sounds like you're in the right spot because that's I don't know. I think we're kind of like just floating through the abyss without shit like that. So, I mean, there's something I've been thinking about lately too. Is uh, like even if you just accomplish like a small goal a day, like if there was like I don't know, man, like the smallest thing, like obviously like Tyler and I do run Blackgate, and I think like, man, I'm super not motivated to do something today, but if I can accomplish like something for it, like whether it's writing a blog post for our website, or even just something as simple as like writing doing an Instagram post and like replying to like some comments on Instagram or something like that. Like I'll feel like I won the day. So like if you can like win even like small victories for the day, like I think that's like those will build up into like a big one eventually.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because you're still working towards like what you want to build, and like even though, yeah, like you're saying, even though it is kind of small, which nothing's really that small. But if you're working
Right.
like Instagram posts and stuff like that, it is growing. You know, you don't see it instantly, but you know, it keeps you at least in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
And you're working on something you want to work on. I think that's the biggest thing people don't do. Like, I was thinking about that a little bit more today. It's like you have all these people working these jobs they hate. We talk about this a lot. But it's like no
Yeah.
one's going and like working on shit they actually want to do that makes them stoked, you know. Like then I think people feel like they're kind of directionless and they get frustrated and mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and I know coming home
Yeah.
and being like frustrated because like you're tired, dude. Sometimes I'll just go get like a fucking Red Bull after work, slam like half of it, and then like make sure I at least spend like 3 hours doing what I want to do before I
Doing
wind down.
something, yeah. Yeah, I read like, or no, the podcast I was listening to today with Russell Brand and Joe Rogan were talking about like it was kind of a different direction, but like yeah, all the people that go and are like miserable at their jobs, like um, they're kind of seeking for like that chaos release or something like that because they go through each day of like um the monotony, whatever, being under like the fluorescent lights, bullshit things you don't want to do, but then also you don't go home and work on something that you like or do anything that you love. It's all just like shit that passes time. Um, so that's what I think like obviously really brings people to a breaking point. And I mean, I'm glad that I hit that point. Like I had that point when I was still working the job, and I've gotten to the point now where I've been able to change things around to, like slowly but surely. Like I'm not working anymore. Obviously, I'm not like just paying my bills off of just Blackgate and whatnot, but making steps towards that. So I think that's something a lot of people struggle with, and it sucks because all it really takes is the mental, like, because I think it's an unconscious decision that you make every day. It's like this is just this is how it is, you know. You don't like you're not like consciously thinking like fuck I hate this, like I need to stop, like. So
Yeah, you're just feeling like what's kind of, I guess, comfortable in a sense. Like, I know this is going to pay my bills and make me have some sort of lifestyle. But then,
Right.
like, you're trading everything else for it. And you're like, well, fuck. Like, I did that construction shit for a little bit. Killed me. Because I wasn't coming home and doing what I wanted to do. Like, yeah, I could afford it way easier, but, like, it sucked. I was like, well,
Right.
I don't even want to do it.
That
Even
was
if it's,
my
like,
main
painting or
concern.
some shit.
I was worried about my income. Like that was what I was most scared about. And I think this depends on what kind of person you are. But that was what I was most concerned about because obviously I had a decent paying job and it was consistent and I could always rely on the fact that I would have X amount of money every week. So I was concerned that like, okay, I'm leaving this. I'm not going to be working every day. That money's not going to be there every week. But I think this is the part what I meant by like it depends on what kind of person you are. I think my brain kind of kicked in like, shit, I got to start bringing in these different revenues of income. Like, how can I make a little bit money here and a little bit money there, here, there, like instead of just like going through the simple motions of going to a job every day. I had like my brain had to kick into a different gear of like make shit happen or you're gonna fucking lose your house or something. Like
Yeah.
I like that. I
Fuck.
like the pressure. The pressure's scary, but it like I'm grateful for it in the end.
Yeah, it gets really bad when it's like, oh, I'm kind of fucked if I don't do something. But that's where you
Right.
get the most creative, for sure.
I think so,
And,
man. Like you gotta
and
hit
then
those rock bottom.
and that's when you stop caring about like the small shit. You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop kind of partying all the fucking time. That's not fixing any of my problems.
Mm-hmm.
Cat's just
Right.
like hanging out on me.
Yeah,
What's
that's
up,
something
dude?
that I pretty much cut out was like going out and partying and even being at a party because I think that's like if I'm there, I'm not like doing anything that's making me the money, whereas before I could like afford to maybe go out and party because like I lived for the weekend and I knew like I just had to go to work on Monday anyway, so I was like, fuck it, like let's blow some money, like let's or on a different level, just like being a consumer of products or something, and I was just like, fuck it, like I'll just go buy something this weekend, maybe I'll feel a little bit better.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
So-
work like that. Actually, I want to elaborate on James's thing, saying pinching pennies is my superpower.
That
All right, could you elaborate that on a little bit? Because I think saving's super important. Like I've opened up a couple like saving account kind of reinvestment accounts for me, like myself, just so I know that I'm at least throwing a little bit of money away at my future. Yeah, if there's any like, what are some like your tactics or like why or like what's your favorite thing about like the penny pinching kind of dealio? We got more bros in here. I'm liking that. Do you try to start small, like $5 a week, $20 a week? Like, what's a good indication of like, okay, I'm saving? When do you feel like you're actually kind of making an impact on your income? Yeah, I actually don't even have a credit card, sadly. Well, I guess not even sadly. I'm just like not in the position to get one. Just don't really want to. I don't want to dive into that circle yet.
yeah, this is so interesting. I wish that we could have James in here too. Like, you know, like if we had like, since obviously we have somebody else that's like contributing a lot to like the conversation, it'd be cool to be able to be like, oh shit, like we got somebody else in here that wants to actually chat. I feel like that Facebook will probably come around with something like that more in the future, but I think they better get on it. Randy, you can't hide from us forever. You know that, right? I see you and your cat and you're in that little profile picture. What could you possibly be doing? Say something, anything. No lurkers.
We'll just put that.
No
lurkers.
I'm literally gonna kick you out, Randy. I have that power. I'm in control of this today. I am the captain now. You better speak up.
She's twerking, dude. Oh,
She's
it's my
tweeting.
boyo. Look at my boyo.
Can't believe it. Oh, my man. Wonder if it's just...
Yeah, I feel like the best way to start would probably be like the gas card. I'll get like one from Shell or something because you have to spend that shit anyway.
What's the best way to stay spooky for the holidays?
I like that my cat's just here.
You have a black cat, so you're already pretty spooky all year round.
Yeah, I'm hella Halloween, bro.
I've been liking it. I got a couple little Halloween trinkets up. I think my candle went out, but I've got that. I've got some other shit. I got some pumpkins.
Some pump dumps.
Randizzle, what could you possibly be working on? You need to be working on this chat.
Spring 2018 Black Cat. It's going to just be t-shirts with him on it. With his little face.
Literally sick.
I'd be down, dude.
Black cats are dope. I'd be down.
He's
Let's
my
make it
little
happen.
pretty boy. We could.
We'll
just do it like how-
too.
We'll just put them both on my tees. I'd be down.
I've always wanted to put like Knuckles on something. Put him on a sticker. That'd be dope. Instagram story videos for a band. Shake my damn head. I used to think that was so much SMH. Yeah, I never fucking it's not it's Shake My Head, right?
Yeah, it's super shit. I mean, that's what I'm kind of cutting it out to, chopping it up to be.
I hope so. Because I mean, for a while, I think I Urban Dictionary'd it. was like, what the fuck is SMH? So
Damn,
much
we have
hate.
some proceeds. That's a lot of fucking likes on this one. 435,000 likes on that page. They don't even have a picture. That's so crazy.
What is it? The ASPCA?
Only true friends go straight to your refrigerator when they go to your house.
I'd be pissed. Fuck you, get out my fridge.
I'll do that. I'm like, what you got up in your refrigerator?
I ain't got shit, son.
Love
I ain't
going to
got-
my homie's house, just seeing what they got the grub on, dude. What
Just
do you got
see-
for me?
Just see what they got. Like, I ain't not even trying to take anything. I'm just like, see what they fucking. I've seen some funny ass video of like these dudes roasting their friend that just like literally had an off brand of everything like, but it was like funny off brand of shit. Like Frosted Flakes was like I don't know. They just named their shit so like if you ever see things in stores that are just like they make the
Great.
character on the box like similar, but he's like retard version of it. Like, and then the name's just like slightly changed. Dr. Thunder and shit like that. That's a good example.
Oh, it's Mountain Maze, dude. I just had a Mountain Maze
Did
yesterday.
you?
Yeah.
Icy
35 cents.
flakes.
They had Mountain Maze and it was like 35 cents. I couldn't say no.
Dude, you can't really beat the price. Like Stater Bros always has those things. Like, yeah, Mountain
What's that?
Maze.
Isn't like Dr. Thunder caffeinated Dr. Pepper, like extra? Or what's the one that's like more caffeinated?
That's Mr. Pibb just is more turned up, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't know. You could. I'm not sure. Mr. Pibb tastes better. Like, sorry. Like, fuck all you fucking everyone that stands so hard behind Dr. Pepper.
Yo, actually, Vaughn's has doper knockoff pizza rolls than pizza rolls.
Straight up.
They have like more meat in it and stuff, dude. It's way sicker for sure. All right, later,
That's
Playboy. My Playboy got over it.
Good, dude. We're over him. Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Pibb is dope.
This is what I was saying. You never seen this?
No. It's a ginger ale?
It's ginger cola, dude. It's pretty dope.
Huh.
It was perfect with that whiskey.
Is it brown?
Like a gold
It's like a
color.
darker?
Yeah. It just
No, like
Premia Cola.
what's so it's actually like it has like a Coke flavor or does
Yeah.
it oh shit,
But-
I thought it had more of like a ginger ale flavor.
Premium cola
Wait.
spiced with real ginger.
But
It was-
you could taste the ginger in it.
Yeah, for sure, like big time.
Nice.
Super
Yeah,
huge.
I like those drinks, but they give me headaches for like with the sugar and that you're mixing it with. If I
I
had
had-
too many, at least.
I was drinking whiskey cokes and then I had like a glass of wine the other night. It was so dried out.
Dude,
So much
yeah, you
sugar.
gotta pound water before that. I like super like I've never had these before, but the hot toddy, literally your signature drink.
It's gotta be.
It's so good, dude. Like whenever I get sick, if you have like a head cold or I don't know, like literally anything, because like obviously like soup and shit just always sounds good. So it's a hot drink, but it's bourbon, lemon, honey, hot water, and I think that's it. But yeah, so like the lemon and honey, so it's pretty much just like you're drinking a tea, but it has bourbon in it. So it's like you're also getting like a little bit of like that warm feeling from being a little bit, a little bit
Yeah.
intoxicated, as they say.
There was
so that's
have you
good.
ever had like the spiced wine that you had to make in a pot? Like you buy it at the store, you pour it in like a big old fucking thing, and you like kind of just simmer it.
That sounds like some peasant shit.
Nah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Didn't you make mead back in the day?
Hell yeah. We're making it some at the house now.
Really?
Jesse's got like a big fucking like 3-gallon bucket of mead here.
Of just like a white tub, like one of those big like little tubs of,
Yeah.
and it's filled with mead.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty sick,
I remember
actually.
one time, which is like he got really fucking mad at this, which is where we're drinking a little bit more back in the day, not giving a fuck. It was like me, Clark. My cat's like just scratching my back. It was like me, Clark, and someone else. Elliot, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Elliot too. And we come home kind of shitted. I forget where we came back from. and then we all just take these party cups we have in our cabinets that we use for beer pong and start dipping it into his meat bucket.
Well, it's just a bucket, and does it stay open or is it closed? It got a lid
No,
on
you're
it?
not supposed to fuck with it. Like when you start drinking it, it's done. Like you can't just go back
Yeah.
to save it. So
But
it was like
it doesn't have a bucket on it, or it doesn't have a lid on the bucket, like, or
Yeah.
it does.
it
Yeah.
does. It's got a lid and it's got a little fermentator,
It's
little tank
okay.
thing.
It's supposed
what
to
is
sit
airlock?
for a long time, right? Like it sits
A
like,
year.
That's yeah.
At least. Well, yeah, his was there for a year and like he
Fucking
wasn't really.
dumb.
He was so not happy. Yeah, because we
Nah, I'd be
ruined
pretty
it.
bummed.
Dude, you're like, fuck, a year. That happened to me, dude. I was like 8 months deep. I tried it once when I was transferring it to another jug. And I tried a little bit. It was pretty solid. I'm like, cool, only like 6 more months. And
Right.
Someone threw it out. Super.
They're just like, fuck it.
Hey!
This looks nasty.
I gotta kick my cat
Yeah.
out. He's being annoying.
Yeah, he's like crazy hours, isn't it? Like full moon or Friday the 13th coming up, all that jazz. He's probably crazy as hell.
Yeah, let me go kick him out real quick. He's annoying.
Yeah, fuck him up. Cole, what city do you live in? Do you live in Phoenix? I remember I hit you up last time I was there, but I was just on a fucking weird one. Like, I don't know. Obviously, anytime you go anywhere else, you're probably on like a bit of a vacation. So I was getting a little fucking weird. Because I remember talking to you, and I was in like downtown Phoenix, which is like surprisingly really cool. I like it more than like our downtown San Diego. But that's not. I don't know. That's not saying much. Our downtown's very touristy and whatnot. But yeah. What city do you live in, Cole?
For Loco.
Nah. Randy Bo Bizzle is just fucking chilling, not even trying to have a good time.
Yeah, she's not even caring about us being here.
I think we were talking about earlier how we put on like nice, like calm music to work to, and I think Randy's just listening to us. Like, I take that as a great compliment.
We're helping her focus on things and stuff.
Thanks so much, Randizzle.
Oh, Mike's in here, dude.
Mike's the man. Hit him up for all your needs. I forgot to Venmo you. I'm sorry about that. If I wasn't on my phone right now, I would do that right now, actually.
You missed out. I hella plugged you earlier, like twice. For real.
We plugged the bro. Mike's the bro. Plug him. When is your new song dropping, Mike, that you sent me not too long ago?
I feel like a dick. I still gotta listen to it. He just sent me that too. I fucked up, and I didn't
That was sick. All right, you can redeem yourself. What's the band called, Tyler? What's that one? What's his band called?
The Crown Remnant.
No, fucking
Mike's?
band. Yeah.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a good friend.
Atha.
It's called the Mike Atha Experience.
There's just like 6 pictures of him all holding like drumsticks, a guitar, a bass.
Yeah, there's one where he's looking like hecka badass. What, dude? Why did I just look up Mike Atha on Facebook and there's another one and he looks like a fuck boy.
It's Atha.
Atha.
I've been saying it wrong all this time.
That's your new
suck. That's just the
Definitely.
new way we're gonna say your name. It's just Atha.
Maybe
Get used to
he's
it.
probably just being an asshole. You're being an asshole, dude. Yeah, there's 2 of them. Mike Atha, he looks like a fuckboy, and
Invite
that's
him
not the one I'm
instead.
looking for. Yeah.
Well, no, invite him in here, and we'll have battles to see which one's funnier.
Yeah, which one's cooler? Yeah,
And then that's the new bro.
I'm gonna share. I'm on his page right now. I'm putting my boy on.
Yeah, join this shit. Join this shit.
Yeah, the way down is sick, man. I'm digging the sound. I think like
Double entendre.
that genre for anybody. Yeah, that's also cool. For people that haven't listened to that, Mike's in like a pop punk project that I'm pretty sure is just you right now, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's just Mikey. Look at my
Which
thug
is-
list is in here. Thug,
which
Doug
is
Thug.
kind of like a way that a lot of people go these days anyway, is like just kind of doing it themselves and letting the people come to them, which I think is like, that's fucking awesome that we have the resources to do that these days. Is like when someone's in a position like Tyler, that can like come in and help you write music, like whether you're like a vocalist and you're like, so I've got all these ideas but I just don't know, like I might not be like in the production side of things. So that's when like you could go to somebody like Tyler. So that's besides the point I was trying to make. But I think this is something I said to Mike earlier, was like a lot of it for me comes down to like in pop punk bands, I think like what stands out for them, for me personally, is the vocalist. Like I feel like the vocalist has to be above and beyond, like, and that's it. Like, I mean, instrumentals obviously are like solid, but I think that a lot of them follow like that same sound, and you can't get too technical if you're still going to stay in the pop punk realm. So it's like the vocalist like has to shine through. So I thought like, I mean, I feel like I'm sucking Mike's dick at this point, but he did like I'm gonna start. But yeah, that's what makes it for me for pop punk bands. I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but it's just like it has to be like the vocalist, because like obviously you can have good instrumentals and that, like The Story So Far is more technical than people think, but yeah, like I think what really made bands like that so big is like the way that the uniqueness of like that guy, for example, Tyler and The Story So Far, like made them so big, is because of the uniqueness. Would you agree with that, Tyler? Would you say that it comes
Sure.
down to vocals for you?
Oh,
in bands
for sure.
like that?
Make or break with any band. Like I think like
Yeah.
pop punk more so, but I think yeah, it's important. Yeah, no, his melodies are dope. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that a lot about it.
Yeah. I think because you can, I mean, I don't know, man. It takes a certain kind of voice to do, like, it has to be different, because otherwise you're going to end up falling into the realm of like every other band that is like doing the pop punk thing. And I think you could still be good, but there's not going to be something that sets you apart. I think, I mean, obviously you could say this for every genre of music, but I think that's just for me personally.
Sick. Yeah, I think like that's a demanding role. There's a lot of emotion and energy while commanding the stage. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're a vocalist, you're not like killing it. Like if you're not talking to the crowd, I see that a lot of some of local bands. They don't talk to the crowd, or they just like do song by song, and it's kind of awkward. They look down a lot. You gotta work on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've seen like funny articles lately. Like, what's that one? The Hard Times. That fucking website cracks me up. Like, one of the
so fucking
articles, like, I'll actually be like laughing my ass off. Like, there's not a lot of things, like, I feel like you can read like blogs or something like that and just like fuck, dude. They got like, I don't know, like just the stereotypes of like vocalists and stuff like that. But yeah, Tyler's right. You know, like if you're not working the crowd, like there's so many things that go into like bringing that energy forth, as like not only with your voice but as like your presence as the lead singer of like, especially a pop punk band where it's supposed to be fun and like everyone's stage diving and shit. If you're singing up there and you're just like being a boring piece of shit, then I don't know. Just degrade him as a person. Like, you're boring, so you're a piece of shit.
It's fucked up, dog.
I hope you know that. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to do my thing.
See, I would love if we had a PBR advertisement or a Four Loko. Imagine this with Four Locos.
God, dude, we would not be doing this very well. Like, what there were nothing real would get talked about.
No, it would just be Loco. It would just be full.
We might have to change our business plan.
We're just kind of too doofy dogs.
We change our name and everything. It's just like two goofy homies. Something like super ridiculous.
Clout goggles
or no,
on,
what,
dude?
Dude, no. What was the? Remember I thought of like such a cool name for a podcast that where like we just get drunk on it. It was called what was it? slightly
Shitted.
Damn it! I can't close it out because then I won't be able to. That sucks. Yeah, I have. I'll look. It'll come to me. But that'll be like if this doesn't work out, we're just gonna get really drunk on a podcast, and then like that's gonna be the whole thing. Is like we're just dumb,
The
just
shit show.
dumb, silly. The shit show. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I'd be down, even though we kind of do that a little bit now. Me.
I like. Yeah. That'd be dope, man. PBR. Just said. I don't know if you sponsor people, but
They have
somebody
like
might be watching this.
They do have a music thing where they give back to the artist. Like if you get even this can.
You're right. Yeah, they got cool shit on there, huh? I like that.
Slightly sloshed.
When's the PBR needs to start a record label. Like Red Bull's got it. Like you guys need to keep up. Like let's do it.
They definitely dude, me alone could probably fund some bands with all the PBRs I fucking buy. I'd be down to see what happens with it. Someone's gonna start the Slightly Shitted podcast now, or the shit show one. I'm gonna be sad. I better be on it.
No, dude, what's it? Fuck. It was such a good play on words. I'll think about it. It was too good. I can't remember it.
Looks like Bandle's about to join us.
Bandle McRandle.
Yeah.
Is it Randy's arch nemesis?
Her bizarro twin. It's her twin brother, Randall.
Her doppelgangbanger.
One day, my bro. One day.
That's the dream.
Probably sooner than I'm even thinking.
Yeah.
Dude, a couple years, dude, I bet.
I mean, if you think about what it takes to technically classify as a record label, it's I mean, we're not far off from the things that people like what makes a record label, so
it's pretty much she's back, dude. She's back at it.
Oh, dude. Yes. Now the fun has really begun.
All right, thanks for joining in, guys.
All right, guys, take care.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining. Unfortunately, Randy came back, and we're just fuck. I don't know how to put this.
She's still here, dude.
Black Ass Records.
All right, just you. I'm down. Fuck it.
I'm gonna sign Randy and her only mission is to be sitting in on our live streams, and I pay her to do it, so it makes us feel good.
I like it. Yeah, we do media management like right now. We're not promoting that yet because we're still doing it. So woo, that's kind of something to talk about.
What's that?
We are managing a band. Like we're doing some shit.
Yeah.
I'm just developing right now, getting them ready.
All right, I got you, Randy. Venmo. Hit me with the Venmo line. But yeah. On a serious note, we do have stuff coming in the works, which is cool. Of like from a development side of things, like yeah, we're trying to just cover the whole spectrum. We didn't want to go into like this whole general idea was like we kind of wanted to take on more as we went, and like because I feel like if we wanted to come out as because obviously like it'd be awesome to be Black Gate Records someday. But we didn't want to wait till we were like at the point where we could say we were Black Gate Records, like, which is why we're doing all these things to lead up to that point. I think that's where a lot of people, to put it in like a big perspective, is like people wait until something's like, oh, well, we can't be a record label right now. We don't have like the resources, or we don't have this or that or the money, or so that's why we're trying to like just do things as we go. So yeah, I mean, we're always trying to make steps towards like what's that next thing, and like whether that just everything that we do kind of leads up to whatever our end goal might end up being. Like so, just kind of just to kind of sum it up, like that's. I mean, that. What do you think? I think that'd be pretty rad to be placed.
Yeah, that's like big picture stuff, you know, because then it only expands from there. It'd be cool. Like I don't want to be just pigeonholed to one thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, because that's what when we got into this, and I think that like every company these days has to think of themselves first as a media company. Like you are a media company. You have to produce content around your whatever it is you're trying to do comes second. Like so Tyler obviously does recording, does producing. We both handle a lot of management and developing with bands. Um, and then I do like the photography side of things and videography for bands. But I think before all that, you have to gain awareness for that. That's the thing that you do. So I think that that's where like what I said, being like a media company comes into play is like you have to brand first, and then once you have the awareness, people will be like, okay, I want to work with them just because I know about them. I think that's the only way to do it these days, and you can every company has to do that. I think like whether it be like Toyota or whatever, like big companies,
yeah,
small.
even with something like what we're trying to do too is like we talked about a little bit on the last one was like personal branding as well. So like where people can recognize that we are our separate entities, but when we come together, it is just like that big picture.
Right.
So people understand that like you do photography and then I do recording. We can come together. It's a whole package kind of thing, and we do more together than just that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, that's obviously and we could go and do these things. Anybody can as an independent, work for yourself type of deal. Like I could go start my own photography business and just have me, and I could do that forever, and I could be happy. But I think there's something to trying to make something bigger than yourself, which was like the most attractive about this idea that like Tyler and I have been with now for, I don't know, it's been in our minds for longer than it's been out, but not much longer. We kind of thought of it and we were like, fuck it, let's do it. So yeah, I mean, always striving towards that. But yeah, media first, really, because like that just is what it is. Like we're always gonna produce content around like what it is. Like no matter, like you can make like a commercial for Blackgate or something like that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like an advertisement that like I do photography, because then it would just be like, oh, there's just another dude. Or it could be like you make like a compelling video of of just something that touches on someone's emotions, and they're like, oh shit, I really like that. Like let's go see what Blackgate's all about. And then they get into like, so that's the way I see things these days.
Yeah, exactly. We had a really good question from Doug.
Yeah, let's do it.
What kind of time frame do you suggest for someone who's considered starting their own label? Let's just start there because it's like a 4-piece question.
Mm-hmm. What kind of time frame do you suggest for someone who's considered? Yeah, I can take it.
I don't really think there's a time frame. I think what it is like getting an idea and starting the next day, get that idea, sit on it for like a little bit, kind of have like what we were talking about earlier is writing down like a big goal list. Just don't wait. Because like what we're talking about right now, it's like that's what we're kind of working up to. It doesn't have to happen right now, but eventually it could, or like that's kind of like our bigger picture is. You just got to start now and then kind of see how the puzzle pieces fall in. I mean, everything needs money to start up too, so making sure you're financially able to invest in it, that's a big part. And then making sure you know the industry well enough to where you aren't gambling so much on bands to where if you pick one up, you're going to be like, oh, I'm not going to fucking lose my money I threw in at them. Just like any business, you're looking to at least double your money. And then you have to have an idea of when you're going to get that money back with interest,
Right.
What do you think on that, Mon?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think time frame wise, it's like it depends on where it is that you want to come out. If you want to come out of the gate running as like the next day, you want to come out and say like we're a record label. I think that takes a lot of behind the scenes things to go on before you can say something like that. And I think that would probably involve something more like private funding or something of that nature, because the route Tyler and I are going, if we wanted to do that in the long term, it would be more of a building our name, to work our way up to the point where we didn't have to, like, Tyler and I don't have to go get a loan to start a record label, to sign bands, to get them recorded or whatever that it would want to be like. So I think time frame wise, that's the difference. I think it comes down to what you personally want to do. So I think if you don't have those resources, or obviously everybody says, like, don't take out a loan to start your business. Like, I mean, it's just scary. Like, but I think it depends on where you want to start. So, I mean, you could start out small with, like, if you're in that industry with, like, just, like, friends, bands, and things like that. If you wanted to just, like, hey, we're signed to this record label, and, like, build it up like that. Yeah, I think it comes down to.
It's a good point. And making
Yeah.
sure, like, if they want to start their own label, like I said earlier, you have to know the industry at least well enough, or know enough people in it to where you could thrive and not just be like some small time kind of thing fucking over bands.
I feel like if Randy could chime in a little bit on that too, since obviously, like, she has a lot of insight on something of that nature. If you want to answer any other part of those questions, I'd be down to read it off too for the live stream. Because I mean, Randy works in that industry, so I feel like that's kind of something that she might be able to knock out of the ballpark with an answer. But what's the next part?
As far as working for another company, is there a point of being somewhere too long? You want to start this one?
Being's too long, and if so, do you think staying for extended amount of time, considering when you start your own company, that will be so similar to the company you worked for? So I think, like, if what that's asking is, like, you're trying to work for someone else to, like, gain skills for something that you want to do down the line, is the way I'm taking that. Is that how you're understanding that, Tyler?
So I'm thinking too. Yeah.
So you want to, like, work for somebody else that's doing what you ultimately want to do. I don't know. I think that's hard to say. Like, I think that like
10 years, 20 years.
Fuck yeah, it'd be hard to, like,
and how fast
depend on how fast. Like, yeah, I think that'd be a good way though. Like, to like that almost answers the first question. Is like if you get to find out if that's what you really want to do. Like, if you were going to work for somebody else, you could be like, to, like, even just intern for a record label or something like that. You'd be able to get behind the scenes and be like, find out what really the day-to-day is, and then, like, find out if that is even what you really want to do. So I think that is a good place to start, like you said, is, like, actually working for something like that, and then you get but as far as leaving, if you think you've been there for too long, then it's like I don't know. I think as long as, like, you're ready and you think you've learned all the skills and you've made the connections, then fuck it, it's time.
Yeah, it's time to really jump off the teat and do your own thing. How would you figure out the business aspects of what you've learned to make it your own? How hard is it without copying someone else's idea or style? I don't think there's a such thing as copying their ideas and styles, because that's going to be, it's too direct. You'll get influence from it. I guess a good example is the business I work for, Dusty's Guitars. Like, me being, like, I work there alone a lot, and I work there with my boss one-on-one pretty much all the time. So he showed me the ropes over what I've been there for like 5 years. That's almost 6 years. Been there a long time. But, like, I started off sucking. Like, I didn't know anything about anything, and, like, now I'm pretty confident in, like, my skill set there to be able to make right purchases, or being able, like, to order stuff that, you know, like, I know what we sell, what our market is. I do the marketing for the business too, and it's pretty much just like, it took me those steps to figure out, you know, our clientele. I think as long as you know your clientele, you can kind of take off and see if you're making the money for the business. You can probably do your own thing.
Yeah, I agree. Just kidding. I'm replying to a text. I didn't hear a fucking word you said. Just kidding.
And then,
all
right, Randy,
did you read Randy's or no? Yeah, read Randy's.
Not yet. If you want, if you can get direct experience with a company before starting your own, the more time you can be there, the better. That way, you gain as much knowledge as possible and aren't going into your own venture blind. Then once you go into your own company, you can take those tools and make them your own, so you can run your label the way you find is most efficient for you. I think that's a really good way of putting it.
Mm.
Because the best way to learn, it's literally just real life. You know, like you can go to school all you want, you can read as many fucking books as you want, but if you're not applying it, it's pointless. So you got, and then don't be afraid to make those mistakes. You know, like you learn from those mistakes, even though it sucks. Like it's gonna fucking hurt and it's gonna suck when it happens, but like that's when you get the most out of like that experience. It's like, okay, I'm not doing that again. Okay, now I know why I can't do that, and this is how I can fix it. So like that's probably my biggest thing. Like I fucked up at work a few times, then like those fuck ups have shown me like, okay, don't buy things for this much money. You have to do around this ballpark, and you can usually get it this low. And then you kind of go from there. That's just an example.
Yeah.
Just playing the real life game.
Yeah, I think that applies to fucking a lot of things too. Is like, what is it that, like, if you don't know what you want to do, you need to just try and like taste and like taste different things. And like, I think from there, it's like, you might find out that like, because you could have in your head right now that like that's my dream, man. Like fuck, like oh, it's my dream to run a record label or whatever that might be. But you end up kind of getting involved in it, whether it be through like working for someone else or interning, or say you do jump all the way and do it, which I think is the scariest step because of this. And you might realize like, oh fuck, I don't even like, this isn't my thing. Like, well, fuck, what did I do? So luckily there's less risk when you're doing that, like when you're doing it as a job. So yeah, like I don't think, like I always think like this isn't the end game for me. Like I'm obsessed with photography and like creating things in that nature and videography, but there's so many other things that I'm like, I know that I'm interested in, and things that I am not pursuing right now that I know that like one day is probably going to take a big hold on my life. So like I think yeah, it's always just like continuing to try things, because like I could try something tomorrow and be like, holy fuck, like this is my thing. And I think yeah, that's an important factor as well.
Yeah, I think
that's weird. It says you joined. Did you leave?
Me?
The live.
No, if I'm still in it. Oh, it's probably because of my computer. It's like I hopped in again or something. I don't know.
Fuck it.
If you can still see me,
sure,
that's
man.
a good thing.
That's a good question though, dude. Like that's super cool, because like that's a big aspiration, and like I don't know, just like having big goals is the first step, I think. Just like have a big goal in general is like, even just that inspires me, just to hear about people that have like something that they want to do, and just even like you being here asking questions like that. I mean, obviously, like we're just trying to we're just shooting shit. Like we don't know anything like better, you know, but I think that's something that like inspires me every day. Like we were talking about earlier, you surround yourself with is like, you just talking about having like a big goal like that is like fuck, dude, like that's just cool to see. So I appreciate that comment, man.
Yeah, definitely. With even just like yeah, asking questions and learning, I think that's like such a good mindset to be in too.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking like, there's a lot of people out there that think they just know all the shit, and they're jaded or bitter that things aren't working out for them. It's because they just aren't open to inside opinions or anything like that. They don't want to expand. They're just like, I'm already there. I know how things work. Fuck it. It's like, that's not.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too. Of like, obviously, this isn't something that we can really say. This is so new for us doing like the Blackgate thing. But I think that a lot of people tend to get. This is where a lot of people get stagnant with their business or their venture or whatever their hobby or passion or whatever you want to call it. Is like what Tyler just said, is like, fuck it, I'm already there. And you don't want to like reach for something else, or you don't want to like gain knowledge from another perspective, or you don't want to like bring someone else on with you, or just like anything of that nature. I think that like that's something that like I'm trying to think about for the next step when we do take this to new levels with Blackgate, and it becomes more and more a part of our everyday lives, is like, how do I do this every day to keep innovating within it, and that's the only way to keep it relevant in your life, I think. So break your comfort zone. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that 100%. In like every aspect of life. Like I I recently started doing this thing in the morning. Like, this is just kind of a funny thing, but I started taking just fucking cold showers in the morning. Like, I wake up and I just take a cold shower. It fucks me up, but it gets me going hard. It's weird, and like, uh, it just changes my state, and it like, I'm from like being asleep. Like lately, I've just like forced myself. Like the other night, I got like 4 hours of sleep. And it was the day I headed up and did some video stuff with Tyler. I just fucking took a cold ass shower in the morning. I was like, holy fuck. Like, it just kind of like, it fucked me up, but it changes your state, and like, it gets you breathing all hard, and you're like, I'm ready to do this. Like, so they're just little things. Like, that's just a funny example, but I think there's things like that you could take as a bigger picture. What is that, Buck?
The 4-hour work week. Is it like fucking...
I'm from the snow. I know those. That's why you don't get a choice on those ones, I don't think.
Yeah, from being like, that's where I felt like, even like when I talked to you like today about it, where I'm like, all right, I'm breaking out of that bullshit. I was definitely being complacent. I was chilling, dude. Like the last 2 weeks, ever since my birthday. Is that 3 weeks now? Ever since my birthday, I went out on vacation. And I came back, and I just kind of like, I got back in the grind a little bit, but I wasn't hitting it too hard. And like, I was fucking talking shit to myself every day, being like, why am I sitting on Facebook for 5 hours, dude? Like, what am I fucking doing here? So, like this morning, I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to go to bed somewhat early, which is like early for me, is like 11. Woke up around 9 o'clock, and then I hit a fucking book, dude. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take notes. I'm going to like make sure I absorb this. I think that's the best motivation for me, is reading positive books about personal growth, like learning how to be better at time management, and like figuring out why certain things make me lazy. That's what I like. It's learning like those little traits, and then learning how to break from them.
This is super funny because like everything that I've thought, or everything that I wrote down on this guy, I took obviously from the notes from my phone, but it's came up organically in the chat or around that. Or you've said it. So I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was something cool. But you're talking about like essentially like self-improvement. One of the little notes that I wrote down here was like just kind of thoughts on self-improvement in general, because obviously that's what we try to do every day. So I was curious to know like just what other people do as far as just trying to make yourself better each day. Is it we've touched on different like points in this throughout this, but for you personally, is it more of like try little things each day, or do you do like a drastic change? Like, do you try to go for like one big drastic change to try to like kick things back into gear, or are you trying to do like like I said earlier, like just do like one Instagram post, and that'll like kind of like build yourself up like slowly but surely?
I try to do like one big one that kind of kickstart it all. I like making sure that like I get mad enough at myself to be like, all right, fuck off, we're doing this now. But like I at least have I'll sit down and I'll make a bigger picture game plan. One sec, I'm getting like blown up. So I make like that bigger picture game plan, and then like but I also follow in with like doing like more Instagram posts or doing like a Facebook post, or try to stay, relevant within that. So I know at least my small steps are going to add up to a big one, because that just keeps me in the routine. Because if I stop doing that, then I get way too complacent. I'm like, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to watch some Netflix, catch up on a TV show, where I should be posting or making a blog, or like trying to figure out my next step, to like maybe getting more clients, or like, making videos and stuff.
Yeah, because I think I mean that's all we've got is like you're either trying to make yourself better each day, or you're kind of just chilling in that complacency. So you can try the small thing each day and build it up to each day. The small things add up. Or if you're in a spot in your life that you really don't want to be, like James and we've commented on a little bit earlier, is just making that drastic big change, or putting yourself out of your comfort zone, or just literally trying something completely different. I think that can like, you might not know it at the time, but it'll like improve and just improve yourself overall.
I super agree. Yeah, just small. I mean, even if like you can't do those big steps, at least focus on doing those small steps just to get you into the like mindset that you need to do more.
Book recommendations. Fuck, I read The Alchemist again recently, which is just a good. I mean, we read that. Everyone reads that book in high school, but I always find myself like compelled to read it again. I actually listened to it as an audiobook, of course, because I've gone like so far on just like going strictly audio because it's like it's so convenient for me. And like as much as I do like the sitting down factor of sitting down and enjoying a book, like I love that I can multitask. Like I could be walking around my house with these babies in and getting shit done, or I could be editing photos and listening to an ebook. So that's like, fuck, dude, there's nothing better in the world than me. Like for me, like right now, like I can't think of things that are better to do. Like I'm feeling productive and I'm learning at the same time. It's like, fuck, like that's a win-win for me.
I just like those like financial books. I'm weird. I have like an investment book. Those things I feel like I can't really recommend because I don't think a lot of people think that would be interesting. But definitely like that 4-Hour Workweek book's a really good one. The best book though that changed my whole attitude was for sure that Rich Dad Poor Dad
Rich
book.
Dad Poor Dad, yeah.
Like
No,
1000%.
that changed me. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be the one to start with. Casey has it. Mike, Casey has that book. Borrow it from him, from me. That's
or
my
just
book.
do this.
Just goes take it.
Do the ebook. I listened to the whole thing in 5.5 hours, I think, and you kind of have to find what, because I know a lot of us obviously went through school being like fuck reading, and like you might have that stigma in your head of like, well, I just don't like reading, so why am I gonna sit down and read a book if I know that I never liked it? But it's actually like a really different thing when you're sitting down and reading something that you're truly like interested in, or something like if you feel like you benefited from it in the end, like all of those financial books that we're reading at a certain time. Like I learned so much about finance through that I just like of shit that I just didn't even like care to know or like think that I wanted to know, but it was like it changed my outlook on money, changed the way that like I view my spending. And so like I don't know, it's really hard to judge things before you try them. So I mean, we're all guilty of it, but books is a big one for a lot of people. I think they're like, fuck reading, I hated it in school.
Or well, let's see the question before this. But the whole self-improvement or time management, how did you guys manage your free time while on tour with your band? Were you more relaxed, chill type, or do you guys always take away your free time to further your skills, whether it be drums, guitar, or just curious? We were kind of different people back then. I feel like
for sure.
I'm
glad you said that.
Yeah, we were like, I wasn't super.
We were young. Very young.
18, 19. Yeah, we're just out there. We're touring younger than that.
17, yeah.
The last tour we did, I TM'd it, and that was a fucking headache. It made it not fun. I remember that. Like, it was still cool, but I was definitely like the stickler of the fucking thing.
Yeah, we got in some fights for sure.
Yeah, it was just frustrating.
There was some name calling. Yeah, unfortunately, like, I'm excited for the future of going on tours for me, because I know how much, from doing it back in the day, I know how much downtime that you have. Because the majority of it is spent in a van, and a lot of those times, like I think back to those times like as the best ones of tour. Like obviously the shows and all of that is the glory, but being in the van with your friends and doing nothing but like bonding in those ways. But also like if I think back now like to what I could have been doing with just like my laptop and some equipment, like I could have just gotten so much done while being like doing something so grand productive as being on a tour. So that also with the cell phone has made everything so much easier too. But to answer your question, I think what I did was I drank a lot of beer in hopes that it would make me better at playing my instrument and singing. So I don't know if it worked or not. I don't think it did.
I think like our mindset at the time too, though, is like we felt like, all right, we did the big stuff. We're on tour, so we're just gonna focus on being on tour. It wasn't seem
Right.
like what else can we do
Yeah.
outside of tour. It was like we're just gonna think about the tour.
And that was kind of like maybe right in the it was kind of right for us at the time, but in retrospect, like I think we could have been doing a lot more. But that's where you live and you learn, obviously. The life skills for sure, though. Like fuck, dude, I learned more. Obviously, like you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about how you get along with other people, being in not only about your own band but the other bands that you're on tour with. Like there's no other setting like that you are around people that frequently, that consistently, I think. So you either become really good friends. Unfortunately, like you see like really ugly sides of people, but you also see like the best sides of people. So I learned a lot of like that. It helped me grow up in a lot of ways, I think. It taught me a lot of things. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to it, man. I fucking miss it. If I could change one thing, I'd be super stoked if I was like more into reading then, or I kind of had this attitude then, because I don't know where I'd be at now. I'd be probably like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing is like, yeah, you always wish that, like, fuck, maybe if I would have just learned this shit a little bit quicker. But I think that's like a recipe for like, it's too late for me. But it never is. Like, obviously, like we are a little bit older, but we had to go through those steps to be able to get to where we are now. So,
yeah, for sure.
I'm happy to be here now.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of learning for sure. Like everything we were doing was like, as this, like you just kind of figure it out as you go. Especially like your first tour, you're like, I don't really like the first long tour. Like you're gone for like a month, and it's like, all right, well, let's figure out how to eat, how to budget, how to like shower in Walmart sinks, baby wipes, like the whole nine. You adjust.
To James's point, yeah, the financial classes in high school, like, dude, there's not even a suggestion of like a book to read, or like unless maybe you had like a really awesome teacher or something that was like, yo, like you guys need to learn a little bit about this, like can you like here's a book that I recommend, like on your own time, like you guys want to learn some real shit, like pick this book up and you might actually like really know about financial shit, because we're not teaching you anything. So yeah, that's a huge one, man. Like that's something that really scares me, and I think that's like, and it comes down to obviously like the schools aren't doing it, and you're not getting taught that from your parents, because they never learned it. Like, or a lot of people's parents didn't learn it, but like the people's parents that did, obviously you do have a better grasp on money, which is why, like, I mean, obviously I couldn't be saying this, and I'm not like rich right now, you know, obviously, but I've learned money management skills a lot better. Mm-hmm. Which makes me excited for kind of raising my little girl for my newly found thoughts on money, and like of what really works and what doesn't, opposed to just going in blindly. Obviously, the nation's all about debt. So yeah, go ahead.
Let me plug one thing that helped. Like this was one of the better helping things with money management. What was that game we'd play? It was richdadpoordad.com. Cashflow.
It was Cashflow. Dude, that game's sick.
It's free. It's online. You can go on right now, richdadpoordad.com, and then you sign up and you just go play Cashflow, and it's online. And all it does, it's like Monopoly, but it's like it makes you think of purchases and how it's going to affect you. You'll probably, dude, I sucked at it for like about a week, and then I got good at it. So, and then from there, it helps you think of like money in a different way of like, well, what's more beneficial. I'd go do that. if you're like struggling with any sort of money thing, anyone in here, and you want to figure out like how come saving so hard, play that game. I bet it'll help at least a little bit. That shit definitely got me on the path.
You can actually, you can play with friends too, which is cool. Like, that actually, like, I don't know, it kind of just reinforces things, because it puts you in situations where you have to make decisions. And like obviously it's like Monopoly in the sense that you're not playing with your own money, but you have to make like investment choices, and those investment choices affect whether or not you get out of certain situations. So it's kind of cool. It's a quick game. Like you can finish it in 25 minutes or so. And it's really addicting in that sense. But like, because you're playing a game, but you're also like really like gaining a skill, which is cool. So
Yeah, you like take out loans. You gotta like buy certain things so you can get some money reinvested back into yourself. It's just kind of fun. Super weird, but I like that game.
yeah,
I'm excited again.
that's the
to
thing.
go
Yeah,
play
man.
it.
Like people like obviously like it's not an exciting like oh yeah like stocks and fucking investing like no one's all dick hard about it, but like it actually is like if you can get yourself to get into a book like that, like you'll probably be stoked on it, you know? You're like, fuck, I didn't even think about things this way. Like I feel like anyone will think differently if they just pick it up. But it's not something in beforehand that you'll be like, yeah, I want to go learn about stocks. Like, yeah, fuck you,
Yeah,
asshole.
no,
Like,
yeah, no one really gives a
like,
shit.
what are you talking about, dickhead? Go fuck yourself. So
Yeah, I get excited about it.
build credit course. Yeah, man. Fuck, dude. There's so many things like that. Like, and that's just, I don't know. Like, there's so many things I could say about like school systems and shit. Obviously, like, but that's something that's super lacking. So I think it really comes down to like the new parents of generations to come is like we all just kind of have to take it upon ourselves to get educated about it because the information's out there.
Yeah, that's what I like about going back to the whole internet thing. Like, it's so at your fingertips. You can learn anything you really want. Like, doing the whole book recommendation thing, like, that's how I got into it. Listen to a podcast and someone talked about a book, and then I started reading books. And then, like, next thing you know, like, game changed everything. So that's so cool that you can, like, go Google some shit, and then it can change your whole little thought process.
Mm-hmm. I think, I was telling Tyler about this podcast earlier, which is kind of switching things up, switching gears a little bit, but it was just, this guy runs a podcast and you can only be eligible to be on it if he wrote a book called From Idea to Income in 27 Days or something like that. I believe that's the correct title, but it's, I mean, that essentially sums it up as like you have an idea, you turn it into like a side hustle or business, and you can be on his podcast if you're successful enough to be able to be making an extra $500 a month from whatever it is that you'd started. So I think like there's just so many things out there, and there's so many testimonies that this guy's got hundreds of episodes on, like, of people that have been on that have read his book, and then they've contacted him and be like, hey man, you really fucking helped me with this. So I started listening to a couple episodes of that, and just things that can like spark your creativity like that. There's only so much you're gonna get out of scrolling through a feed on your phone, and I'm not hating on that. Like, I'll never hate on just scrolling through your feeds. Like, I'm guilty of it. We all are. I could never talk shit about it because I would just be making fun of myself. So
I'm gonna talk shit about it because I hate when I do it.
yeah, it depends on what your motive is, I guess. But yeah, that's the thing. So I guess like there is the information out there, but there's only so much you're gonna get from, you know, being a zombie on your phone for too long. At least I think it's healthy to do it and keep up on current things, or keep yourself involved in your business through it. So
yeah, I think that helps. Because I'll scroll through it, and then like maybe I'll come across something that like, oh, I could learn from that. But most of the times I'm fucking just
exactly
what's on here today.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I think that's the mindset a lot of people go into with, is they just want like a quick fix of like entertainment, or they want to just like kind of pop in, or it's just habit at this point. So I think like if you can kind of just switch your I mean, and it's not even like, you know, I don't know, there's probably a study out there for how much we all averagely sit on our phone. If you take out an hour of that a day, 30 minutes of that a day to learn anything else, like that's going to add up over time. And that's kind of essentially like what me and Tyler have tried to do for the past while, is like, I mean, podcast, books, like everything that we've covered on here. So
the memes though,
all day. I'm not gonna get memes from a book, that's for sure.
I do like the monkey haircut memes right now. That's my shit.
I feel like it kind of died quickly.
It did, but
monkey haircut, like, yeah. I'm super into. I don't know if a lot of people have watched this one, but that I don't even know who this girl is, but her name's like Bella Hadid or something, and she did like a sneaker interview, and just I don't know. The first thing was like, why does she talk like a cop? And she was just like, she was like explaining about shoes, and it was just it's really cringy. So I like I love how memes can just come out of anything, dude. Like no one's safe. Like I could be a meme someday. I wonder what all of our what's the chance that we might become a meme someday? It's probably pretty high. You probably got like a 3% chance in your life, like a viral meme or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like with douchebag Steve, you know, that dude was a meme, and he's like, it ruined his life a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Scumbag Steve. That's what it was. Scumbag Steve.
Scumbag Steve.
Yeah,
And like, what about you?
he's
Had
like,
you know, I had to do it to him, kid. Like that kid's.
Oh,
he probably thrives on it. But like, you could do. That's the thing. You could turn it into something good. You like, you know, I had to do it to him. Like, dude, like that fucking smoking big doinks kid. Like that big dude that smokes big doinks.
I don't know.
That guy goes. He, fucking not. Well, you've heard this one.
Big doinks.
Who's trying to smoke some loud? Hit my line. So that guy.
Have you seen the It one where he's like it?
Sorry, I thought my babe was awake. No, I haven't seen that. But yeah, that guy gets to do everything.
That's so fucking funny, dude. Yeah, like the It ones. I think I tagged Mike in it.
I like twaddles. Big doinks. Like I can't even get my voice to that level just because he's got like so much.
Oh, I got loud. Hit my line.
Hit my line. I'm smoking big doinks in Amish. It's funny to see the progression, like fucking, like they just get more like deeper and deeper to where if you're like not involved in meme culture, like you're not even gonna understand some of them because like some of them have gone like to like so many layers that like you have to like have known about a meme from like 2014 and then it somehow resurfaced and then like I don't know, there's so much. I love it. It's like the best fucking part of the internet by far.
Feels good, man. Memes. Those are long gone.
Big doinks.
Memeception. We got.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's just funny. Like that's what our level of we can all think like shit like that's funny is coming down to. We're just like pictures with dumb. What are you gonna gain from it? That's also a pretty good one.
What are you gonna gain from it? Yeah, dude. Like that's the thing. Like we could make friends with people. Like if like you reference a meme in real life and like you're with like a group of people you don't know too well, but like people start cracking up. You're like, well, we just bonded on a fucking meme. Like I feel like we're friends now.
It's pretty chill. The only thing it's weird. They recycle too fast. My favorite was cracking open cold ones with the boys. Like that
one had a good run though for sure.
Like it was like a month of these. I love it.
Straight up, dude.
Dude, Pokemon Go was bringing people together. Let's talk about that. Bringing that back.
Straight up, man.
People
dude, the new iPhones have fucking AR implemented in them, so I mean there's gonna be more shit like that comes out. Yeah, it's got AR built in, so it's like you can fucking see dinosaurs on your phone in the world. You know,
has science gone too far? That is true.
Well, yeah, exactly, especially when you're drunk, like you're gonna be fucking thinking about all the best memes you've seen.
Dude, Fire Red's fucking tight. I still like...
Straight up.
No, I used to play that shit a lot. It's still fucking... That's what I was playing on tour, actually. That was like one thing I was spending a lot of time doing. Fucking leveling up my bros. And battling Taylor with a Mewtwo, and he won't let me live that down.
Fucking hacks the system. Hacking into the mainframe.
Really small glasses on. Fucking... Dude.
Hacking things.
Yeah, I do miss getting drunk and playing Pokemon Go in parks. That was pretty cool.
Right?
Well, it was like, yeah, we would just go fucking do that. You know, you're bored. You're like, I want to go out tonight, and I could pretty much go anywhere. There's gonna be a group of people doing the same thing I'm doing, so I'm gonna go do that. When we did like that video thing yesterday, that was like I was saying, like that was a big Pokemon Go plays.
Let's listen to this song just to reference like so think about this, like you're in like a big like you just broke into like a top secret agency, and then like you got to get something done quick on their computer so you can get the information. This is the song that's playing.
That's when you're
fucking got cool guy glasses on.
Hacking the main.
I'm hacking into the mainframe.
All these numbers are just.
Alright, I memed too hard.
We're just straight hacking the mainframe. Facebook's pissed, dude. We hacked it.
Oh, it won't even let me zoom in like it was before. I fucking got pissed.
Can I even do that?
I don't know, try.
I'm trying. It's not doing nothing. Nope.
Nope, I'm not allowed to hack shit.
Yeah.
I just hacked all of your guys' iPhones. Thanks for joining the live stream where you just got hacked, bitch. Smack my bitch up. That shit's so. Why is this song called "Smack My Bitch Up"? Like, what is that even? Like, who are you smacking?
I hate it. Damn, the Zuck. He's
the Zuck fuck.
He's a Zucker fucker.
He's easily a Zuck cuck.
I wonder if that dude knew he was gonna be like the shit.
He's a nerd.
Probably.
He was a nerd. He didn't know shit.
That motherfucker has a movie, Fuckerberg.
He's just a Fuckerberg.
I bet he's been called that a lot of times, though.
Yeah. I want to put him on like an iceberg with his face, and he just looks like a piece of shit.
Fuckerberg, the best.
Yeah, he easily gets cucked. He thinks being a cuck is actually extremely chill.
He's so happy. Fools are trying to break in my door.
They're trying to break into your mainframe?
Every time I do like one of these, like there's always people over trying to hang out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go to the bathroom anyway, so what do you think? You wanna fucking close this out with what we've got coming up? Like what we got going on?
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's
Fuck.
do it.
Merch, Playboy.
We got merch like literally right around the bend. That's just gonna be done by the weekend and probably be up by mid next week. So I'm super stoked on that. We're gonna have hats, long sleeves, and t-shirts. We're doing like a small run right now, but that's all gonna go back into a lot of cool shit. Like it's gonna fucking like literally. We're going like full spectrum. Gonna go like the whole line of shit. I want to do. I mean, we're talking windbreakers. We're thinking hoodies. So merch. What else? What else we got coming up?
We're filming a music video for a band. Well, we're not in it, but we're filming it.
Yeah, that'll be cool. We got a music video booked with the band
that we're doing all the shit for. I'm excited to finally like get that kind of settled away. That's under wraps, but dude, when that comes out, we'll have like the whole thing done. That'll be cool.
That'll be sick. We've got talks of not talks. I mean, we just kind of we want to start incorporating more things of like getting people. I don't know. You talk about it because I'm not sure how you want to explain it, but the whole like recording with you thing.
Oh yeah, so I want to make it so like if people are listening and stuff and they want to kind of like work with us or something, I'm gonna give away a free session. We'll just someone can come and write a song with me, and we'll do like a whole video kind of documentary style with them, and kind of walk them through the process. So that will probably be out sometime next month. And then another thing next month too, we're in the plans of setting up a little meetup for everyone to come hang out with us. And we'll have like a barbecue or something. You know, people can come and shoot the shit with us. We can stream it. So I think that'd be cool. We'll set like a little event up within this week, and then we'll put a date in November.
Essentially, just this. Like, I mean, we're gonna kick it, but we're all gonna be able to like be somewhere, which will be really cool. I can bring some fat doinks, some fat PBR doinks. That'll be cool. Yeah, and then we'll have merch by then, which is like we're all super stoked on that. Like, the merch.
Yeah, and just you get to hang out. We'll have some industry people there too. Like people that are also doing this, and like people to talk about things, and you want to network, or you just want to come in and shoot the shit with us, or you just want to like eat some fucking barbecue. Like, shit, I guess we could do it when Randy's here. What, like 2 weeks?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
No, fuck it. I think we could definitely do that.
Scrap that. We're doing it in like 2 weeks.
So if anyone, we'll literally make an event for it like this week. So if anyone also like, anyone that's in here right now, I know there's not like a ton of people, but James, if you have any suggestions of like places we could do it, like if you have a favorite spot, we were thinking like we could do Stone, or we were thinking more of like a chill environment where like everybody could come, where it's just like
Poway Park would be cool, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like somewhere middle
barbecue
ground.
Yeah,
barbecue. There's like fucking kickball fields, so we could do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, it'd just be cool to hang out with everyone, kind of make like a community again, so people can shoot the shit with us, and they can bring their own things and make it a cool hangout, man. I want to get that community back, you know.
Plus, Randy Bo Bandy will be there hacking your mainframe.
Guest appearance, dude. We're gonna like shoot fucking fireworks off, get some streamers.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, yeah, this was sick. Thanks for everybody for joining in.
Be happy.
Peace out, friends. So we'll have the event out soon.
Yeah, thanks for talking to us, and it's always good just being able to shoot the shit with people and see what everyone's up to. We'll do more of these. Miss you guys.